Hi everyone and welcome. I've been using the new Sony A7rVI now for a couple of months, and today I wanted to share with you my experience of the one function that Sony have added to this camera that has truly transformed the way I take my pictures and set up the camera. And that button is on the shooting menu, and it's the new star button. And for me, this has been an amazing addition to what's already a fantastic camera. So today I want to show you how I've set this camera up for wildlife photography. Also how I've managed to save a little bit of cost on cost of cards, because the cards are now incredibly expensive if you want to take advantage of all the features of the new camera. And also how I fitted in this star button into the setup for that, so that I never miss the shots that I'm looking for when I'm out in the field. So let's get started. To set up a custom shooting button for wildlife settings, we're going to start by setting up the cards. I set up everything in manual mode, and then when I'm finally ready, I save all the settings to a custom button at the end. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm set up for shooting in RAW format, and also that I'm shooting with a file type which is the compressed RAW. I'll show you later in the video why this is critical when shooting high-speed wildlife. Now, to get the most out of this camera and to fully access all of the features, it's essential to be using a CF Express card. These cards are still quite expensive, and if you're like me, you've probably got quite a few good SD cards lying around as well. So what I do now is I have a CF Express card in slot 1 and an SD card in slot 2. And if I'm not needing to use the high-speed functions or the advanced video functions, then I have my custom button set to record into slot 2, my SD card. In this case, however, we are going to use the speed of the card, so we're going to set up to record into slot 1. This setup simply means that I'm only using the CF card when I absolutely need to, and I'm still using all my old SD cards at the same time. Next, we want to set up the drive mode and make sure that this is set for continuous shooting high speed. Then just check and make sure that the continuous shooting speed for high speed is set at 30 images per second. Then I want to set precapture settings, and I want my precapture on. And normally I would set this at half a second, but I want to set it at 1 second just now, just to show you the impact on the buffer. Before we have a look at the buffer, I'll quickly just set up the shutter speed in the ISO. Normally the shutter speed I'm setting for wildlife at 1/2500th of a second or a little bit faster. And for the ISO, I'm normally wanting this to be set for auto ISO, but I want to make sure that the camera can go to its full range if necessary, because I would rather capture the shot at a very noisy level than miss the shot completely and have it really dark. So I'm setting auto ISO, and I'm going to change the auto maximum right up to its top level. Noise reduction software is so good nowadays that I'm not worried about having a good bit of noise in my image. I can fix that later. Now that the camera is pretty much set up, I want to show the impact of choosing the two different types of RAW files. In standard RAW, you can see I'm now filling up the pre-capture, and I'm using about 25% of the buffer. If I start shooting now, you can see the buffer fills up relatively quickly, but I'm getting about 120 shots before the camera starts to slow down. This is normally fine for short bursts. Now let me go back into the settings, and I'll change the file type now to our high quality compressed RAW. And let's do the same thing again. So now if I activate precapture, you can see that the buffer has filled up nearly 75% now. And if I start to shoot, I'm only going to get roughly 30 pictures before the buffer's filled and the camera starts to slow down. So I think for wildlife it's essential to use compressed RAW, and probably pre-capture around about half a second is probably optimum. Now we want to finally set up the autofocus settings and the recognition settings. So focus mode, we have to be in continuous autofocus. And I like to set up my priority set for continuous autofocus, in this case for wildlife, to be on release, because I would rather the camera wasn't waiting before it took the picture. Now we'll set up the subject recognition. So to start with, make sure the subject recognition is turned on, of course. And the recognition target, in this case, I'm going to be setting for birds because that's going to be my focus at the moment. Now, within the bird autofocus, you can see there are a number of choices as well for fine-tuning this. I haven't tried any of these settings yet because I'm quite happy with the way the autofocus works out of the box. But if you're struggling with autofocus, it might be worth adjusting some of these settings. And finally, I like to see my subject recognition frame, so I'm just turning the frame on. Now that we have our settings locked in, we just need to store these. So in our menu, we go into shooting mode, camera set memory, and then it'll display quickly the settings that we've got, the main settings anyway. We press OK, and now we're asked to set a title. And this is one of the things I love about this camera. You can actually set a proper title for your shooting settings. So in this case, we're going to name it Wildlife. And on this camera, we can have 10 of these stored settings. So we can easily put a setting for all the different ways that we're going to use the camera in the future. And we can also have another 10 for our video shooting and another 10 for our S&Q. And now we've set our title, we pick a memory that we want to put it in, and you just scroll down to find a blank menu, in our case MR6, and we're going to make that Wildlife. And that's it. Now, to make all this work flawlessly, I want to pick a specific button on the camera and allocate this to my custom shoot. So I'm going into the custom key dial set in the menu. I'm going to pick a button that I don't particularly use much, which is the custom button 1 on the rear, and I'm changing that to the shoot mode switch. And this is going to allow me to switch the mode just with the press of one button. This is now going to cycle through all my different saved shooting modes. So what I want to do is limit the modes that it shows. So go into shoot mode limit and deselect everything except the ones where you've got a setup in place. And I'm now adding Wildlife to mine. So I've now got 6 custom shooting modes selected. So now if I set the dial back to the star, I've now got the custom button on the back, and every time I press this, it'll just cycle through all my different setups. So moving from night to animal shots, through to landscape, and then quickly into wildlife again. So it's a quick way of going through every single setup that I've got. So it's really that simple. I've now got the camera set up so that I'm shooting almost exclusively with the star button selected on the back. I've got up to 10 modes that I can select and click through with the C1 button, so I can move quickly from landscape photography to wildlife photography if I suddenly see something moving that I want to capture. And equally, I can move quickly into any of the video modes as well. So I can switch from taking standard still photography into video mode and shoot a quick video and move straight back again to any of my settings. It really makes it so much easier and so much more fun doing photography out in the field. And it means that you're hardly ever going to miss the shots that you want to take on the day. So, thank you. If this video has helped you, then please hit the like and subscribe, as it will help our channel develop and grow. Thank you.